What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Sunday. It is June 16th edition. We are back with another video. Hopefully, this video finds you doing well. Hopefully, I want to hear your stories of how well you did yesterday. Whether or not it's in the comment section below, whether or not it's in the Discord link in the description below, let us know how you did. I've seen some pictures from the early slate from Saturday. I would love to know how you guys did. So hopefully you had a great weekend, whether or not it was DFS, real life, whatever it was. But we are back. If you're new to the channel, we do things way different than you're probably used to. So what we do is we go through every single game that's today. That's playable DFS slate. Today's actually a little bit different than what we're used to on a Sunday. Normally we have a Sunday Night Baseball game, which is the ESPN game of the week that we can't play because it's a solo game. But the Minnesota game getting postponed pushed a night slate on a Sunday. Whether or not that's going to get played, we will definitely see. But we're going to go through everything. So we're going to cover all the pitchers that on the slate, all of the batters. Then, if you want a condensed version of plays that we like at each position, click the link in the description below. That is today's article. Check that out. Again, a ton of information for you guys, whether or not it's in these videos. If you think we're missing something in these videos, we probably have it at FantasyTeamAdvisors.com under the MLB tab. We've got a ton of things, projections, simulations, Vegas, bets, everything there. Go check that out. If you've been on the fence about signing up, FTA Plus is $10 a week. You can definitely check that out. And that includes MLB, NASCAR, PGA, MMA, NBA, NFL once that comes back. So we've got it there for you. Questions, let us know. We do still have a couple of coupon codes left for each. If you use the promo code, give me a second real quick, I'll bring it up. Okay, so I didn't know how long it would take to load, but if you come here, it's FTA Plus. So you come down to FTA, come down here. For a weekly pass, if you use the promo code YouTube, all one word, all capital letters, or this up for a monthly pass, instead of $29.99 for the month, you can get it for $19.99. That includes every single sport. So $10 a week, or you could get a month, first month, for $19.99. Or if you've been on the fence and you want the yearly pass, normally $199. If you use the promo code BIRTHDAY, all one word, all capital letters, you will get it for $99. So you'll get $100 off. There's only a handful of coupon codes left here. So if you want either of those, go check that out. You could do a weekly pass if you like what we have, and we still have a coupon code left. You could use the birthday coupon code for the yearly pass after your week is up. I cannot guarantee it'll be there, but it is there. So people have been asking, and we wanted to bring that to you. Other ways, if you're new to the channel, we do have giveaways every single video. 2 giveaways specifically. Never had the same person win them the same day, but you can. First way, like the video, be a subscriber, leave a comment. If the video gets at least 50 likes, you have a chance to win a free week. 100 likes, a free month. 150 likes, a free year. And if a video gets 100 or 200 or more likes, you have a chance to win a $500 lifetime pass. So that's way number 1. Way number 2, somewhere in this video, I'm going to give a coupon, or I'm going to give a keyword out. So be listening for that keyword, then type that down below, and you have a chance to win a free week. Now, these can stack on top of each other, and you come back every single day. So the more comments you leave on the video, the more people that see the video, you have a chance to win. So come back every single day to leave comments. So we are going to run this twice. So this first one is because yesterday's video got 83 likes. So someone will win a free week right here. And then we'll rerun it. Even if the keyword is here, we'll still rerun it. So James Johnson 4723, congratulations. You are the first one. Now, you did use the word glasses, but we are going to rerun it. So you do have a chance to win yet again here. So let's check it out. See who wins the weekly pass. Michael Swick, again, just won the other day, but did not use the keyword there. So we are going to pick another winner. So, looking at this, the winner is user SF3YY4KYP. If you know that that's your username, you use glasses, congratulations. I need both of you to email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and username and email you would like on the website. Now, if you already have a username on the website, use that as well, and we will get you, let me know what you have, and we will get you set up for your free. It looks like it is Cam's Games if you look at that username. So Cam's Games, you are the winner. Email me and let me know. So that being said, we have a full slate. Like I said, we're going to break it down. If you have not already, towards the end of the video, we're going to give you the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. So we're going to do 10,000 simulations today. These can change a little bit, but these will be put on the website as well. If you want to see other things, we've got ballpark factors, we've got projected home runs. All of this will be posted in the Discord for the day. So if you want some of those things, go check out the Discord for sure. So that being said, we are going to dig in. The problem today, we do have some weather concerns. There's a little bit of weather concerns. The main slate was St. Louis, Chicago, cloudy in Baltimore. Should be good the rest of the way. Should be good for this little afternoon slate. And then this night slate's where, so Oakland, Minnesota are playing a doubleheader. The second game might not get played. Now, if they do move that second game, I definitely could see this slate going away. It just really depends on what goes on. So let's dig in. Let's take a look. We got the Cardinals at the Cubs leading off. We got Miles Mikolas versus Jameson Taillon. Now, we've used both of these pitchers this year with success for the most part. So we got Mikolas coming in. Does have a higher ERA, 4.85, 4-6 record, 59 strikeouts. He has faced the Cubs this year one time, 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks, 15.9. So pretty decent. Looking at his price at 6,400, it just depends. I could see this being a good game, but again, the weather is a concern for the starting pitching. Whether or not the game gets in there and then they, get a delay and then the starting pitchers are out, that kind of stinks. So we look at Mikolas. I don't know if I feel comfortable enough using him. Even at 6,500, I don't know if I feel comfortable enough paying for him. But then you got Taillon. And we've used Taillon multiple times this year. 3.09 ERA. Splits-wise, he's faced St. Louis once this year. 5.2 innings, gave up 9 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 Ks. Didn't really do much. I am probably just looking at bats in this game. I am not looking at pitching. I just don't trust it, especially with the weather. The bats that I would look at, Burleson, Goldie. Now, here's the thing. So we go over the bats that we do like. Now, I've had people say, could you go deeper in depth as to why you like these bats? So whether or not it's recency bias, whether or not it's their BVP, which is possible, or if they're great against the handedness of the pitcher, so right-handed or left-handed. If I went through everything like that, the videos would be 3 hours long. So if you go to MLB tab under FTA or FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, you can see our projections are there, our simulations are there, but batter splits, how they are against lefties, how they are against righties, BVP, that is another thing. Cheat sheet, that is another thing. So we've got a ton of stuff on the website. If you want to check them out, that would be amazing. So the bats that I would look at outside of Goldie and Burleson, I've got to get Nolan Gorman in there a little bit. Brendan Donovan. You want cheaper Mason Wynn or Michael Ciani? I do not mind. Cubs bats against Mikolas. Overall, if you see his ERA, he's got 266 batting average against him, 178 plate appearances. Obviously, has seen them a ton being in the same division. Seiya Suzuki is one that I would look at. Cody Bellinger's another one. Christopher Morel. Now, Sundays are the day of rest, not only for the Lord, like I say, but also catchers. So we might see Yan Gomes starting instead of Momaya. We might see that. Like, we don't know who's going to be starting catchers most days. So it's definitely something to look at. I mean, I don't mind a Dansby Swanson. I do not mind a Cubs stack here. I'm not using either pitcher, though. I would rather go the bats in this one. Next one, Phillies at the Orioles. You got Zach Wheeler, who's been one of the best pitchers of the year so far, versus Corbin Burnes, who's pretty damn good as well. I think this could be a low-scoring game, even though both of these offenses are pretty damn good. Wheeler obviously comes in with a 2.16 ERA. We look at his splits. He's on the road. Does have a little bit worse ERA on the road, 2.83 compared to his 1.71 at home. And then Corbin Burnes right below him, 9,500, 2.18 ERA. Splits, home games 189, I love both of these pitchers. I'm probably, unless we look at the simulations and other things happen, I'm looking at pitching in this one. I'm not looking at the bats. I think both of these pitchers have the stuff that could keep the runs off the board here. So that's what I'm looking at. I think both pitchers are both cash or tournament. Doesn't matter to me. I'll have exposure to both. And then we got the Rays at the Braves. Zach Eflin versus Hurston Waldrop. So Eflin, he comes in. We've used him a couple of times this year, but he has a 4.06 ERA. Splits-wise, pitching on the road, he's got a 5.02 ERA. Tampa Bay's offense has not been giving him what he needs. I am looking at the Braves offense for sure. For sure. Atlanta. Waldrop, is he not on here? Am I not seeing it? There he is, Waldrop. So, splits-wise, he's got a 17 ERA against Washington. He went 3.2 innings, 7 earned runs, 1 strikeout. I'm not looking at him. I would look at both offenses, but I could see this being a high-scoring game on both sides. The bats that I would trust for Atlanta, Marcell Ozuna's been absolutely on fire. He's hitting home runs, seems like every single day when I don't have a sports bet with him winning the game or hitting a home run. Another one yesterday, I would use him. Matt Olson against Eflin, I love. Jared Kelenic, I would look at. Ozzie Albies, Orlando Arcia, like all these lefties, I would definitely look at. But if we think Waldrop's, here's the thing. Waldrop for tournaments, I'm okay with because he's got a 17 ERA. He is cheap. Probably not a ton of people will be on him. But if we're looking at Tampa Bay bats, Brandon Lau, Yandy Diaz, Jose Siri, Isaac Paredes, I would look at. Cheaper options would be Richie Palacios or Taylor Walls. Obviously, give the bump to the Braves. It'll really, there's just not much to go off of with Waldrop. Didn't go deep into the game last time. Got absolutely lit up by Washington. That scares me. For tournaments, I'll have, maybe if I make 20 lineups, Waldrop will be in one of them just to get differentiation between other people. But I'm probably, in this game, probably sticking to just the Braves bats here. I don't trust Eflin, and Tampa Bay's offense is so wishy-washy. We don't know what we're going to get. Then we got the Marlins at the Nationals, battles of the lefty here. The Jesus Lizard versus Mitchell Parker. Luzardo, 273 batting average against him career-wise. But he comes in 7,600. I like him better than Tyon and Eflin, though. But game logs, good game against the Mets. You're supposed to have a good game against the Mets. Not a good game against Tampa Bay. Not really a good game against San Diego. Milwaukee, New York, both good games. Splits-wise, he has actually not faced Washington this year. I will have some exposure to him. The only problem is, on the road, he has a 5.64 ERA compared to a 4.81 at home. That does scare me a little bit. We'll have to definitely see, but that's a little alarming from what I could gather here. So kind of just looking at that. Tournament-wise, I think Luzardo, I will have exposure to. Mitchell Parker, I don't know what to do with Parker. He's right here for 8,200. He's got a 3.21 ERA. Marlins have won like 3 or 4 in a row, I think. Home games, he is 2.46 ERA. He's already faced this team once this year. 4 innings, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts. So the strikeouts were low. He did not go 5 innings. That's what scares me a little bit. 2.25 ERA, not bad, but only 6.2 fantasy points. I am probably looking at both of these pitchers for tournaments, and I'm not looking at the bats. So I'm just going to avoid the bats. Maybe later on when we do the cheat sheet, when we do the simulations, these bats will make sense. And if that's the case, they will be on the cheat sheet. They will be in the Discord that we discuss as maybe we like one of the teams as a stack. So it'll all come down to a bunch of things, weather, simulations, all of that will come into play later on. So I'm looking at pitchers for tournaments. I'm not looking at bats, and I'm not looking for cash. Guardians at the Blue Jays, you got Ben Lively versus Jose Barrios. We saw the Twins. We saw the Blue Jays blank the Guardians yesterday. After the video that I posted in the morning, Jose Ramirez was put on paternity, so that was a big bat that was out of the lineup. I don't know if the chemistry was gone. I don't know what happened there. Ben Lively, Jose Barrios. Barrios, it depends. It's wild, though. Ben Lively is more expensive than Barrios. He has not faced Toronto this year. He is on the road where he has a 3.09 ERA. So you're looking for at least 2.5 times value for pitchers, meaning he needs at least 16.6 fantasy points. So he is averaging more than 2.5 times value. Didn't get it against Miami. Got it here against Washington, and some good games between the Angels and the Mets for him. The problem is on the road, he's a little bit worse. They are in Toronto. Tournament-wise, I'm okay with, because Toronto's bats they've shown up on some games, and they've absolutely disappeared in others. Now, Barrios has had a bounce-back year after a couple of down seasons in the past. 2.93 ERA, game logs, not two kind of really just bad starts. Milwaukee and Baltimore, both really good teams. Cleveland's a really good team as well. I don't know. I think both of these pitchers are tournament picks. If we're looking at bats on this and we feel comfortable, Josh Naylor, David Fry, Andres Jimenez, Steven Kwan, Rocchio, those would be the ones that I'd look at for Cleveland. Toronto, obviously Vladdy, Davis Schneider. They've moved George Springer down. They've moved him down the list. Spencer Horwitz, I would definitely give exposure to. He's been in there. Dalton Varsho would be another one. So I don't love this game yet. Maybe simulation. They're still running in the background. We'll let you know at the end. But yeah, we'll let you know at the end. Padres at the Mets. You got Dylan Cease versus Tyler Meagle. I love this matchup because Dylan Cease is a stud. He's the most expensive pitcher. Game logs coming off a great game against Oakland. Now he's got an even better matchup here against the Mets in Citi Field, which is a massive pitcher's park. Pay up for Dylan Cease. I don't trust the Mets. Tyler Meagle, he's not. He's 3.16 ERA. Game logs, really good game against Miami. Not a good game against Washington. San Diego, up and down. I think both of these pitchers are fantastic to use today. I would look at Cease as your cash. I would look at Meagle as your tournament. None of the bats jump out to me right now. Probably just focused on the pitchers in this one and not the bats. Then we got the Tigers at the Astros. You got Kenta Maeda versus to be announced. So yesterday, after the video, or basically I think during warm-ups, Verlander was scratched with a neck issue. Again, he's 55 years old. Then they brought in Spencer, Mr. Spaghetti, who gave up like 8 runs in the Detroit came off. 2 in the first, 6 in the second, or something like that. Something ridiculous. Now, we don't know who's pitching. We'll see. This could be one that's up in the air. We don't even know who's going to be pitching yet. And it might be in a bullpen game, which would stink. Versus Kenta Maeda. Now, if Maeda could get the run support that Flaherty got yesterday, that would be ideal, but Maeda's down here at 6,000, 5.89 ERA. Splits-wise, when he's on the road, he's got a 10 ERA compared to 3 at home. Game log, middle of the road against Washington. Left after 2 pitches against Texas. He's not been ideal. At 6,000 for tournaments, I'm okay with him. But he's got 5 innings. He has not gone 5 innings in almost a month. He left hurt. You never really know what's going to happen. 6,000 for tournaments, I'm okay with. I do not love that. So we can't really go over bats because we don't know who the pitcher is here. So this is one where I'll say once we know who the bats are, or the pitchers, what Houston is, that'll be on the cheat sheet. It'll show the bats if we like any of them on Texas or on Detroit. But honestly, this is a game I think you could fade. And I think you'd be okay just completely fading this game for sure. Then the first game of the doubleheader here, J.P. Sears versus Bailey Ober. Sears, he's been good, but then he's also been bad. 6,300 is his price. He's not faced Minnesota this year. He's had a good game against Seattle and then not some good games sprinkled in there. He's going up against Minnesota now. As long as the weather holds up, I think I like Minnesota bats over Sears. And then you got Ober. Great matchup for Ober here against Oakland, but he has not been ideal. We kind of went over this yesterday. He has not been good for 3 starts in a row. A good game against Texas, then a bad against... He's had like really good games and not really good games. I'm probably looking at the bats in this one. and not the pitchers. Now, the problem is it's a doubleheader. Make sure that when the lineup comes out, that if you're playing the first one, obviously it's going to be probably a different lineup for the second one. But the bats I would look at, Brent Rooker, Langoliers, Seth Brown, Abraham Toro, J.J. Bleday, Miguel Andujar for Oakland, those would be the ones I'd look at. If we look at the Twins bats here against Sears. Carlos Correa and Byron Buxton against lefties, I absolutely love. Same thing with Royce Lewis. I would definitely look at Royce Lewis. Another bat that usually mashes lefties and gets in there is Manny Margot. If Manny Margot is in there, he is a cheap option in a twin stack that you could look at. Kind of the same thing with Carlos Santana. Switch hitter there, should be on regardless. Another one that I love, and if you guys have been here before, you know I love him as well against a lefty, is Ryan Jeffers at catcher. Now again, it is Sunday. Catchers, he might not start the first game because Christian Vasquez is also a lefty killer, I guess, but he's a right-handed bat. I love Ryan Jeffers if he's in there, so we got to pay attention to see if he will be in there. But I obviously love a twin stack a little bit more, but I could see Bailey Ober getting lit up and it going both sides and being a high-scoring game. That's the problem with this one. Either Bailey Ober is going to have an amazing game because Oakland is a bad team, or he's going to be off like he has been recently, and Oakland just smashes him. There's no in-between. And then they've got it listed here for the second game of the second game here, but Joey Estes versus Chris Paddock. I would give kind of the same rundown. Paddock in tournaments against Estes, I'm okay with. And then the Twins bats again. Same bats, just depending on who's going to be in the second lineup. I don't know if we're going to get screwed over. Hopefully we don't get screwed over by this. But I would look at Paddock and the Twins bats over Estes and Oakland for this slate. So then we got the Reds at the Brewers next. You got Frankie Montas versus Colin Ray for the last game of this main slate. So we come in here. Montas we've stacked against lately. Game logs, he had a terrible game against the Cubs. He had a fantastic game against Colorado. We were all over the Cubs. He only lasted 1.1 innings, 55 pitches into the second inning. 96 at Colorado, 107 versus St. Louis. He has already faced Milwaukee once this year, gave up 5 runs, 3 of them earned, 5.40 ERA. I'm probably off of him. And then Colin Ray, we have used him. Coming off a great game here against Toronto. 24 fantasy points there, 8.8 against Philly, up and down. I'm probably off of this, and I'm probably just looking at the offenses, if I want to be completely honest. So the Reds offense I would use against Ray would be Elly De La Cruz, Will Benson, Stuart Fairchild, Candelario, some form of TJ Friedel or Jake Fraley. Milwaukee bats that I would use, I don't know if he'll start, but love William Contreras today if he starts. Christian Yelich against a righty I love. Jake Bauers would be a cheap first base option for the day if you want to get a little change of pace there. You could get Rhys Hoskins. I don't know if he'll be in there. Joey Ortiz might be another one. Even cheaper would be Andrew Monasterio, but I'm probably not going that cheap. So overall, I'm not using the pitching here. I am using the bats, if anything. And I don't know if I'll use this game, but that's where I would be at this game. Then you got the Pirates at the Rockies to start this. Oh, is this game not on there? 110, 110. 310. What? See, okay, so they might be on Fanduel, not on DraftKings, which is weird. Doesn't make sense. I would obviously stack the Pirates, just depending on who it is. I'm not trusting Hudson. I don't love Colorado bats outside of Doyle, Rogers, and McMahon. But I don't know who's pitching for Pirates, so it's very hard to go through this one. So we will skip this game for now. Again, if anything pops up that I think is crucial that we need to use, we will put that in the Discord. So that's why I tell you, check the Discord every day. Then we got the Angels at the Giants. So we've got Ben Joyce versus Kyle Harrison. I'm assuming Ben Joyce is he's an opener. Yep. So you're not using him. And then they believe it's going to be Jose Suarez after that, right? and he's got a 7 ERA. He has not done anything. Has not gone deep into games. It's a bullpen day for the Angels, who are already out of the playoff race. They were out of the playoff race February 1st. Versus Kyle Harrison, I would use Harrison, and I would use the Giants bats against them. Whether or not it's Elliot Ramos, whether or not it's Matt Chapman, Patrick Bailey if he's in there, Soler, Yastrzemski, like Austin Slater. I am all in on a Giant stack here against the Angels. I don't trust the Angels bats. I'm not using the Angels today. I could be wrong, and I'll let you know tomorrow. But I'm using Harrison and the Giants bats for sure. And then we got Kansas City at the Dodgers. You got Brady Singer versus Tyler Glasnow. Glasnow is the one I'm going with. Game logs, he did pretty well against the Yankees. Gave up 5 earned runs. This is wild. He gave up 5 earned runs, but he had 12 strikeouts. Lost the game 6-4, 22.1 fantasy points though. He's great. I know Kansas City's a good team, but I could see Brady Singer gives up a ton of runs. I'm definitely not looking at Brady Singer. He's coming off 2 bad starts in a row. Gave up 7 runs, 6 of them earned against the Yankees when they won 10-1 on the 11th. So 5 days ago, obviously. Yeah, I'm not looking at Brady Singer. I'm looking at the Dodgers. Give me all of the Dodgers bats. Does not matter who it is. I do not trust Brady Singer, and I am all in on Tyler Glasnow today. So the key word is fruit. The key word today is fruit. Tell me, put the word fruit and then what your favorite fruit is. I think mine is a toss-up between a pear, and I'm a sucker for raspberries and peaches. Like, I'm a sucker for pretty much all the fruits. Love me some fruit. So yeah, I'm in on Glasnow. I'm off of Brady Singer. I'm probably off Kansas City bats. That's where I'm at. And it's a smaller 4-game little afternoon slate that we're kind of discussing here. Then you got the Rangers at the Mariners. You got Dane Dunning versus Logan Gilbert. Dunning, we've stacked against Dunning, I think, his last 5 times out there. Worked out for us against it's the Dodgers. Worked out for us against the Dodgers. Detroit, okay. Did well against Arizona. Splits-wise, he's already faced Seattle once this year. Only went 4.1 innings. Gave up 4 earned runs. Did have 7 strikeouts, though, because Seattle strikes out a ton. I don't trust him. I'm looking at bats in this one. And then Logan Gilbert, I would use Logan Gilbert against Texas. Game logs, a couple of good starts in a row. He's already faced Texas once this year, got the W, 6.2 innings, 6 strikeouts. That's kind of where I'm at. So in this game, I'm looking at bats, but I'm also looking at Logan Gilbert. So looking at Logan Gilbert kind of takes the Texas bats out of there. But if you want to fade Logan Gilbert, Corey Seager, obviously, Adolis Garcia, Nate Lowe, Wyatt Langford. Jonah Heim is also on parental leave, so both of my guys in my season-long team decided to have babies at the same time. He's out, so that probably brings up Andrew Kisner or maybe Sam Huff that they called up for the game. So definitely a cheap option would be Sam Huff. But again, it really depends on which Logan Gilbert shows up. Then, since I love to take batters against Dane Dunning this year, J-Rod makes sense. Cal Raleigh, big dumper, if he's in there, makes sense. I would look at Cal Raleigh. I would definitely look at Dylan Moore. I would look at J.P. Crawford. Cheaper options could be a Ryan Bliss or Tyler Locklear in this lineup here. Then we've got the White Sox at the Diamondbacks. You got Drew Thorpe versus Jordan Montgomery. Montgomery overall, 42 plate appearances, 308 batting average against him. And he's been lit up and booed at home his last few starts. 6.23 ERA. Okay game against the Angels. Only gave up 3 earned runs. Did get the W in that one. But minus 11.5 against San Francisco. Minus 2.2 against the Mets. Pretty good game against Miami. Not a good game against Detroit. Very up and down. Now, he is going up against the White Sox. They're a very bad team. Game logs, you can see his price. It's low. It's as low as it's been all year. The lowest price. I will have a little bit of exposure to Montgomery, but he's been bad this year. But the White Sox are bad as well. I think Montgomery makes sense, but maybe a little sneaky stack of White Sox against a lefty in Montgomery. Maybe he gets lit up and gets booed at home again. So a Luis Robert Jr., Andrew Vaughn, Corey Julks, Paul DeYoung, Tommy Pham might be sneaky today. Arizona bats against Drew Thorpe. We'll look at Drew Thorpe. This will be his second start, I believe. Yes. So he came over in the trade with Dylan Cease. One start last week against Seattle. 4 strike. 14.3 is not bad for his major league debut. Now, he's got a tougher matchup here against Arizona. Not bad. 5 innings in that game. Three hits allowed. 1 earned run. The strikeouts were low. Didn't do too bad. Tournament-wise, I think Drew Thorpe makes sense. I think both of these pitchers are tournament only. Drew Thorpe a little bit more just because I don't trust Montgomery. And that's kind of where I'm at. Arizona bats, if we think Drew Thorpe's not going to do well. Ketel Marte, Jock Peterson, Christian Walker, Corbin Carroll if he leads off. I don't mind. Blaze Alexander if he's in there. I don't mind that either. I do give the advantage to Arizona bats, but White Sox could be a sneaky stack today, especially given that Jordan Montgomery has been bad this year, for sure. Then that brings us to this little 2-game night slate that we don't normally have. The Yankees at Boston, and then we've got Oakland, Minnesota. We've already covered the Oakland at Minnesota one, and we don't know what we're going to get here. Stroman is one here. Game log, he didn't give up any runs against Kansas City. Won the game because Kansas City pitching crapped the bed against the Yankees. Only had 1 strikeout. His strikeouts have been lower lately. He's been staying in games except for this Minnesota game, but his strikeouts have been low. That's the problem. And then you got Cutter Crawford. So Crawford's 8,200. Game log, coming off a great game against Philly. Splits-wise, has not faced the Yankees this year because it's the first time Boston's faced them this year. We look at this. Pitching at home, he's got a 4.11 ERA, so it's a little bit worse at home, and the Yankees are a great team. So it depends on which Marcus Stroman we get, but overall in his career, 47 plate appearances, 143 batting average. Not bad. It'll just be very dependent if he decides to strike out some people. But then the bats that we would look at. So the bats that make sense, like Yankees, it's pretty much Judge, Soto, Stanton. Austin Wells, I don't know if he'll be starting. It might be Trevino. I definitely could see that. The only bats that I just, depending, if you play this slate, this is the problem. If this game gets rained out, this slate doesn't exist. I love a Yankee stack here. But if we are looking at Boston bats against Stroman, say Stroman has an off day, like Rodon had an off day on Saturday. Devers, O'Neill, Jarren Duran, cheaper options, Jamie Westbrook, Rafael if he's in there. I don't know if he will be. If he is in there, I don't mind him. Yoshida's another one. So I don't mind. I give a little advantage to Marcus Stroman, but Cutter Crawford's a stud this year. Just has not had success at home. That's his only knock. So I am little edge to the Yankees bats, but the Boston as a stack, I don't mind that either. And there you have it. There's the Sunday breakdown. All of the pitchers, all of the hitters. If you want to see an abbreviated version in text form, it would help out the channel. Click the link in the description. We also have the links to our merch down there. That would help us out. Check out FTA Plus as well. And now, we're going to go over the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations, and then we're going to go over all of the bats that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. So let's get started. Number 1, and some of these might surprise you. Number 1, Nolan Gorman. Number 2, Seiya Suzuki. 3 is Aaron Judge. 4 is Shohei Ohtani. 5 is Corbin Carroll. 6 is Gunnar Henderson. 7 is Juan Soto. 8 is Mike Tauchman. 9, Alec Burleson. 10, Rafi Devers. 11, Ellie De La Cruz. 12, Christopher Morel. 13, Jose Ramirez is out. 13, Mookie Betts. 14, Jazz Chisholm. 15, Jose Altuve. 16, Corey Julks. 17, Cody Bellinger. 18, Jarren Duran. 19, Bobby Witt Jr., and a sneaky one at number 20, David Hamilton against Marcus Stroman. And then the top 10, or the top 10 out of 10 rating, not very many compared to like yesterday. Number 1, Seiya Suzuki. 2 is Otani. 3 is Juan Soto. 4 is Devers. 5 is Betts. 6, Corey Julks. 7, Rhys Hoskins. 8, Josh Rojas. 9, Corey Seager. 10, Andrew Vaughn. And the 11th one, Joey Ortiz. So hopefully this helped you out. If it did, hit that subscribe button. Once we hit 10,000 YouTube subs, we're going to give away a $500 lifetime pass if we can get that before the 4th of July. So we got about 2 weeks to go. We got less than 500 subs. I think we can do it. Go share it with your friends. Get this channel out there. Let's rock and roll this year. Hopefully this video helped you out. Good luck on this slate. And as always, let's bring home some bacon today. Peace.